Good morning, my name is Brian, and I've come to talk to you about what's been going on in our Christian walk today. See, today, our leader of our presiding country has made quite a few changes in the past couple weeks. Some of those changes are good or bad, all depending on which political party that you reside for. Showing us as proud American citizens that our leader has taken charge amongst the divided nation, amongst the divided people that we have today. See, this is due to the separate thoughts of the people, because we cannot come together on a single topic. Even today, as we look, there are different sects, religion, Catholicism and Protestantism, because we believe that we should follow Christ this way, or some believe that we should follow Christ in this direction. See, today as a society, more likely in the less of society in the United States, is that you're either part of the political left wing, where, according to the right, they need a safe space or therapy because their president wasn't chosen, causing them to create riots so destructively that our own president has to hire another security team on top of the Secret Service that was already protecting his family. Or according to the left wing, you are, if you follow the right, you are gun-toting, God-loving white power supremacists that are bigots, racists, or even haters because we follow the Christian faith and don't believe that the other faiths are even relevant. Which is true, because we have freedom of speech and we've allowed them freedom of speech and freedom of religion, and we've allowed them to exist in this country alongside Christianity. So this is what we're showing the next generation, is that it's perfectly okay to judge a person and treat them accordingly towards their political views. How that's even right is beyond me. It's gotten so bad to the point that the state of California just recently decided that they want to secede from the U.S. all because they do not agree with some of Trump's orders that he signed into when he signed into office. See, what I believe is that these types of dilemmas is just a repeat of what happened before. See, one of our presidential leaders that we've already elected before has already dealt with this. See, on April 12th in 1861, the first shot towards Fort Sumter started one of America's bloodiest heavy casualty wars on American soil. This was started because two opposing sides on the relations of slave ownership and other problems that were starting to build up due to the technological progressions or advances that were coming out of the North. See, the North was focused on progress. They wanted to build, they wanted to expand, they wanted to explore like the forefathers did. They wanted to create technological advances that were beyond what other humans could capably think about. The South said they didn't want that. They wanted to stay to the agricultural farms that they have because they were doing fine. It was doing well. They were making a nice living off of what they had down in the South. See, the presidential election in 1860 was between Abraham Lincoln and Stephen Douglas. See, the senator from Illinois, which was Abe, refused to give in to the old ways that where slaves were forced to do, hard manual labor. See, what they didn't know is that they were about to inherit one of the biggest problems from the presiding presidency, which was James Buchanan from Pennsylvania, who was the only president from that state that ultimately fueled their campaign towards the presidency. See, Trump inherited the problems that the presiding president, Mr. Obama, had left for him, like the division of the secular thoughts between the left and right wing, the inherent debt, the immigration problems that we have today. See, during his inaugural address that Lincoln made on March 4th, 1861, he stated that while addressing to the southern states, he reaffirmed them that he has no purpose, directly or indirectly, to interfere with the institution of slavery in the United States where it exists. I believe that I have no lawful right to do so, nor the inclination to perform such actions. Then he later to end his address with this statement: I am loath to close. We are not enemies but friends. We must not be enemies. Though passion may have strained it, we must not break our bonds of affection. The mystic cords of memory, stretching from every battlefield and patriot grave to every living heart and hearthstone, to all over this broad land, will yet swell with the chorus of union when touched again, as they surely be by better angels of our nature. He said this, knowing with a heavy heart that secession was just an inevitability. It was going to happen. Somewhere down the line, it was going to happen, and it did, causing one of the most casualtied wars caused by brother on brother fighting on their own soil. Like, it was separated. Even the families got to the point where they became divided themselves. Some of their own brothers fought for the North, some of them fought from the South. See, even today, he managed to reunite the United States together, and he's determined as one of the greatest presidents and best role models for our nation's leader, and others to come. See, now, as Christians, I believe that we should have a role model ourselves. Not a physical one, but a spiritual one. On our Christian walk, we need to keep close to the path that has already been chosen and determined for us from birth. Who better to follow as a role model than the man who has already walked through his own life and his path purely? See, today in our lives, we have so many earthly objects that can deter us from this path. But yet, if we focus on what Christ did and what Christ focused on during his lifetime, only then can we see the true nature of our paths as we walk with Jesus. So now that we turn to the Gospel of Luke, in chapter 17, to look at what our faith and duty is to the Father as we go down this road called life. In verse 3, on the latter half of it, it states that if your brother or sister, the ones that are connected to us spiritually through the Holy Spirit, sins against you, rebuke them. And if they repent, forgive them. Even if they sin against you 7 times in a day, and 7 times come back to you saying, I repent, you must forgive them. See, what Jesus is stating here is that no matter who does you wrong against you, if they are sorry, if they say they are sorry, and they mean it, you forgive them. But then comes the question, well, what about those who don't mean what they say? Or they don't feel like they're heartfully sorry. We still forgive them, but we don't follow in their same ways if we do something wrong against them, and we ask for forgiveness. Again, that would lead to hypocrisy that we have today. See, in James chapter 3, verses 10 through 12, it states that some out of the same mouth comes praise and cursing. See, this shouldn't be. Can both fresh and salt water flow from the same spring? My brothers and sisters, that we are connected spiritually, can a fig tree bear olives or a grapevine bear figs? Neither can a salt spring produce fresh water. See, even today, as preachers or Christians ourselves, we cannot say that lying is wrong and turn around to do what we said not to do. See, as a society today, we call it hypocrisy, like I said before. Even today, this word plagues our Christian communities because some of us go around there, preach what we've heard or think what it could mean, only for it to determine that it becomes a misconception because we don't do what we say. Granted, yes, when it comes to lying, we have to be truthful. And it's gonna hurt. I'm not saying it will be light or a painful thing, but it will. But in return, we try to sugarcoat the truth, or the answers that we try to have, beat around the bush to avoid the actual truth, to try to stall for time, or we lie in general so that we can spare whoever it is the truth. See, and I believe this would be a dishonoring to whoever we talk to, and it devalues us as Christians because it shows to others around us that it's okay to bend the rules. See, we have these rules for a reason. They are called commandments for a reason. They were sent to us through Moses for a reason. If God made these rules to be broken, then why do we call them commandments? Why would we have them in the first place? See, Christ died on the cross to show us the way, the inevitable truth that we all seek, the eternal life that we all long for. See, right now, He has His hand stretched out to us to show us the truth, but there are some out there that keep refusing it and to follow it because we believe that we're independent. See, when it comes to independency, I say, great, I'm glad that you feel independent. I'm glad you can do things on your own. But when was the last time you have ever done something on your own? Or done something for yourself, or went out of the way for yourself, and everything went okay? You know, it's, to me, I feel like it's a physically and a spiritual impossibility. But it comes to the question that comes to mind is, what about our free will? Does that mean we have it? Well, to answer that, I believe we should turn to John chapter 8 and start in verse 49. See, I am not possessed by a demon, said Jesus, but I honor my Father, but you dishonor me. I am not seeking glory for myself, but there is one who seeks it, and he is the judge. Very truly I tell you, whoever obeys my word will never see death. See, now we go back to those words, whoever obeys my word. His word, not man's word, not your neighbor's word, and certainly not society's word, but His word. His word, Christ's word, is the absolute truth. His truth is incorruptible and unchangeable. Forever will it be written on stone or spoken off the tongue of His followers shall it be. We cannot tarnish or change His truth, because it was there at the beginning of time. But as you can tell us today, society is doing its best, and you can see it anywhere you look, to rid itself of this truth. In our public school systems, they have banned Christianity from being taught unless other religions have equal time being taught. So if you teach about Christianity, you have to talk about Buddhism in the same light, or Islam, or Taoism, just because they believe that it should have equal value. Or if you decide to read the Bible in a public school, they will expel you, or they'll give you a suspension for a couple days because they don't want others to be offended because you decided to read the Bible. Or even most of all that I have seen when I was residing in high school is that some of them don't even stand and recite the Pledge of Allegiance. Yes, there were even some, and their response when you ask them is the exact as others that give the same response in the question of why aren't you standing? Their responses are, well, we don't have to. I have the freedom of speech. I view this as a violation of my freedom of religion. Or one of the better ones is that, the flag means slavery, just like the Confederate flag did. And I say that, seriously, how low can you be that you don't stand for the sacrifices made on your behalf, even way before your time? See, these sacrifices were made even before you were born. See, if we didn't have those sacrifices made so long ago, your life that you're comfortable with, that you believe that it's so hard, it wouldn't be the way it is today. It would be completely changed. See, we could be under a regime from either the control of Russia, or we could be part of the Third Reich from Germany if we didn't stand up to what was wrong. if our fathers or our grandfathers hadn't stood up and said, well, enough is enough, we have to stop this. What are we showing our younger generation, that it's okay to kill off, millions of Jews just because of their beliefs? Like, has their spirit, their Holy Spirit inside them shriveled up so far to the point where their moral decision making has been determined by someone else? This is the exact reason why our communities who have put their faith in society, or even the mass media for that matter, to tell them what they believe or not to believe in. Therefore, our country has fallen into chaos. See, now as we turn to Ephesians chapter 4, verses 19, this is where Paul is writing to the church in Ephesus, telling them that they have lost all sensitivity, that they have given themselves over to sensuality, to indulge themselves in every kind of impurity, while being consumed by greed. See, this is not what Christ wanted us to do. This is not what his life was about. Because we become too focused on the so-called valuables of this world. Again, I said before and I'll say it again, we need to stop following or chasing after objects, materials, or items, or whatever you want to call it, of this world, just because society thinks that you should have them. See, we need to put our faith into God and strive for his truth. We need to do our best to follow the life of Christ so that we have the everlasting life with him. Following the example of Christ will lead us to or towards that destination. If we make our lives like Christ, we can become role models for others around us. We can become role models for others in our community, showing them and showing the next generation that we can come together under the unity and fellowship of Christ and be better off for it. See, when we start following Christ, others around us will start taking notes. They will start seeing all the benefits, the rewards, or the miracles, or whatever, how you would call gifts that we get from Christ, all the benefits that we receive because we follow him and we've gone through these hardships and we're being rewarded for it. See, we need to be examples for our community so that we can show the unity and fellowship for others, so that we can make an example for the generation, so that they can determine for themselves to see why history has shown all this hate, the greed, and even to the point where the division of the country is starting to become ludicrous. But to start doing that, to start becoming like leaders in our communities or for our coworkers or friends, we need to start by working first in our homes. It starts by the parents showing their dedication and determination for their belief in Christ. Parents should be leaders of the household. But there are some who are like, well, what does it mean to be a Christian leader in a household? Well, it starts off by Christ needs to come first in the households. His commandments, his teachings, and his life lessons are the truth, and that they should be followed. See, when Christ talked about the leaders, he meant the leaders of the household. These leaders need to work together and have good communication with each other, or are we ultimately doomed to fail? This is so that their children can learn from their example, so that when they have children of their own, they know what it means to be a good Christian leader in the household, or a good husband or wife to their significant other. See, in Ephesians chapter 5, verse 21, it says, submit to one another out of reverence for Christ. This means that on our Christian path, our dedication to Christ should be the same dedication to ourselves. This shows to the next generation that even though we are serving the Lord wholeheartedly, we should serve our significant other as such. In today's society, we're seeing a lack of that due to the rise of divorce or parents leaving each other due to complications. Granted, yes, every relationship is not perfect. It will never be. But showing the next generation that even in hardships, the parents can work together and overcome any obstacle as long as their focus is on Christ and each other. If this wasn't the case, what are we showing our children? that it's okay for someone to get up and leave the relationship without trying to fix it, or that it's okay for them just to give up on the relationship because they deem it's not worth it. See, now that just isn't right. It's even gone to the point where the marriage has split up because they've had a kid, ultimately showing the children, the children of the next generation, that they weren't needed or that they weren't wanted, causing them to go into depression or others to show deviant behavior as they grow up into their adolescent lives, causing them to lead to cause crime. See, we've become so bad with the crime that we're the second leading country to have the most incarcerated per capita. Allow me to put this in perspective by how much. We have an incarceration rate of 693 per year out of the 100,000 people that were part of this study. See, the first leading country would be Seychelles, which is an African country over the African nation, but I probably butchered that pronunciation of the country. Their capita is 799. Their count is mostly based off of the Somalian pirates that they nearly received legally because of all the arrests that were made. But you're now thinking, well, 100,000 is too bad. Well, that's the adult count per year. Juveniles, which is between the ages of 10 and 16, during the year 2013, they had a count of at least 54,000. But that was just a decrease from the previous years. The highest they have ever had was, according to the Justice Department, was from the year of 1999, with at least 107,000 children being locked up, showing us as a society that a role model is needed in their life so that crime could be avoided. Some of the incarcerations that they have is due to the absence of a role father because of their missing a father figure or a mother figure, or even to the point where their community has made them into what they are today. To the fact where that we actually have a juvenile home, showing that where we eat, live, and to have a family that loves and cares about us so deeply can change you or impact you so much as a person, showing us that it is important as development grows as to our adolescent years. Most of them are heavily impacted by their parents' marriage, showing us that marriage is a sanctity that shows union of the flesh coming together for their love of each other and the church. That's why we must love our significant other like Christ loved the church, showing us that Christ's role on this earth was one of great importance, and we should be following that so that we may stay on the right path of our Christian walk. Thank you.